why I debarbed the pumps. Finally caught one. Cool one. No, pretty much done with the firewood, right? But in addition to that, no more hay, is there? Remember this was all full of hay? I'll pull that out. We are moving out of the barn. Pulled up all the mats, took down all the stalls, and that port trailer is now the proud carrier of several thousand pounds of chainsaw milled lumber. Those are the stalls. Those were the mats. Gotta get all the gates and all that stuff out of here. The people who bought the barn are going to take it down. So we're pulling out everything we have that we had built up over the last 18 years here. You know, a lot of memories in there, in that pile. But should you guys be wondering why there's not a lot of saw videos, here's your clue. Well, been away from this for a little bit, letting it dry out. So we're going to do an experiment. Let's see if we can get to the top of this hill on two-wheel drive. And it's had a day or two of dry time, and it's had a little bit of rain, but a little more dry time. And for the most part, this bottom section of this road is done what it's supposed to do, is dry up. But I don't know about the top yet. We're going to find out in just a minute. Now understand, this road probably needs another month to get the moisture to leach out of the clay, which is the base of this road. Okay? I've gone through the theory and all that in a couple other videos, so I ain't going to go there anymore. And we still haven't put a top on it, and we still haven't shaped it to... Well, the one thing I have done is I've taken these ditches that go off to the right hand side. There's one right here. This is in addition to one that goes down the road starting about 50 feet back. That one's supposed to shunt off water coming off the hill. If this one here doesn't, which goes to that holding pond back there somewhere. I don't know if you can see it. Just kind of waving. And I dug out the spring right there, and there's another ditch line behind there to pick up what's coming off the spring. And the field has got more water coming off the field that is leaching into the ditches. Now I haven't quite decided what to do with this yet. I want to put a cross culvert probably right here where I put this swale, but I want to see what happens to the swale first before I put a cross culvert. Or I might take this ditch line and go waste it into the next field over. I haven't decided yet. But the net is I'm up here and it's two-wheel drive. So things are moving in the right direction. And there's my poor old Traco. Now I've got sort of a routine I go through every morning, and it's about greasing the machine, fueling it up, stretching out the tracks. It's an old machine, and I don't yet have a fuel tank in the back of my pickup. That's coming, but first things first, got to get the road in, get the building done before I start spending more money. I keep telling myself it doesn't feel like I'm retired. I'm retired. I'm supposed to be freaking retired. And I've been checking the swing gearbox, and it's always on the end of the stick but not in the sweet zone, so I've been dumping oil in the gearbox and it seems like it just comes right out somewhere. I don't know where. This is a John Deere tractor motor in this thing, not the Hitachi. Which means the dipstick is way the hell over here to the backside. Yeah, neither the oil or water is moving. But the next operation is about greasing the machine and stretching out the tracks. Since it's an old track hoe, the grease adjusters for the tracks, they leak a little bit, so every day I got to pump them back out. One of the things you have to understand about these machines like this, really what it is, it's a big diesel powered hydraulic pump, and it operates a bunch of hydraulic rams and motors. That's really all it is. So one of the things I look for is leaks under the machine. And the other thing, like up in the motor and stuff, yeah, a little bit here and there, but nothing terrible. This oil you see here is what's coming out of the swing motor. It leaks a little bit. And the other thing is I pay an awful lot of attention to make sure there's a lot of grease in that big bearing that the house rotates on. See all that grease coming out of it? I greased the crap out of that thing. But I'm an old man. This is a young man's deal, you know? And of course this one here, like most of the good ones, have got a spot right there where you can grease a lot of the other hard to reach. This is for the bearing right here. But you can see how those tubes take the grease up to those bearings, and then these two tubes down to those. There's the swing motor, and it's got a gearbox down there which is leaking some, which is where the oil's coming from. There's a big giant diameter seal where it's leaking. I don't know, it goes about a pint every 2 days. I'm gonna mess with it. I'm just gonna keep dumping oil in it.